Good Monday morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Jacob Wycoff, joined by our executive weather producer, Terry Eliasen. Terry, it's a good day when we can get some snow and it's on a holiday and kids can enjoy it without having to, go into summer a little bit with the snow day.
I'd say this one was perfect. I mean, driving in this morning, there's nobody on the roads.
Yep.
So the plow drivers had plenty of time to clear it out, and I know that the kiddos are psyched. They probably would have rathered a day off from school.
Yeah.
But however, we'll take a look at that, but we also have a very, very busy week of weather ahead.
Yes.
We hit the ground running here on Monday. We got all kinds of stuff going on this week.
No rest for the weary, for sure.
So let's get right to it. First off, we want to show you those snow showers are finally tapering off. We had, of course, the majority of the accumulation happened late last night. But this morning, if you woke up early enough, and you probably saw, man, it's still going. It's still snowing.
Absolutely. It was a little winter wonderland continuing. The last push is up through Cape Ann, moving into the seacoast, but we're pretty much done. And you can see some of these totals. Wide swath, I think, of 3 to 6 inches, which is exactly what we were thinking of. Really from Wrentham and just south of Boston. That's where we expected the higher totals. If you tuned into the Patriots game last night, you saw it was snowing quite a bit in Foxborough. The real accumulation really didn't start, though, until really almost after the game.
Yeah, I said one of my blogs last week, I feel like we're going back in time. We're having Patriots games in the snow. We're getting real snowstorms.
Absolutely.
This feels like 3 or 4 years ago,
Yeah.
So I think from my perspective, I love to see the Pats playing late in the season and it's snowing out and it becoming a factor.
It's a beautiful thing.
So fun.
Notice Boston, 5.7 inches now. We just got some new numbers in, 5.7 inches. And so that brings our total so far to almost 2 feet.
We're actually getting close to normal here in Boston. Almost a foot in January, and
this is Worcester.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, this is Worcester. Yeah, let me switch to Boston actually. But nonetheless, we're climbing the ranks in Boston.
Absolutely.
Over 6s in January, just about 7 inches shy of where we should be. So it doesn't take much after a slow winter start.
We had nickeled and dimed ourselves. Not even like 1 and 2 inches here or there, but we picking up 5.7 inches will definitely put you back onto the right track. As far as our snow totals go, the last 3 years have been the slowest 3 years on record for Boston. So we haven't had much to talk about. This is the biggest storm in quite a long time.
Yeah, so 5.3 is the official in Boston. So we're just shy of our biggest storm last year, which is February 8th and 9th, 5.5. But nonetheless, this storm, one of the biggest storms of the last 3 years.
Yep.
I mean, you go outside, if you're a New Englander or you're a Bostonian, it doesn't seem like much, but we haven't had much to talk about recently. We still have not got a 6-inch storm. And the last time we had one was now almost 4 years ago. So
yeah, 1772 is the record days. So we're basically going to need another year of lacking a 6-inch storm.
Who knows?
We shall see. Yeah.
Well, maybe later this week. More on that in just a second.
That's what we call a tease.
January snow last 10 years, so we're creeping up again. But this January to date has been a pretty typical one for the 2020s, except for that one year in 2022. But again, all it takes is one storm to boost up the numbers and get us over the averages. So I think we can put this storm to rest.
Yes.
Everybody's sort of dug out. Now we can sort of phase number 2 this week is the cold, and there's a lot of it in the upper Midwest right now.
So right now we are tracking some lake effect snow showers through Ohio and Pennsylvania, some snow squall warnings out for there. That is the leading edge of some really cold air. And as Terry mentioned, that's going to be the story for this upcoming week. Check out the ice box of the U.S. International Falls at 17 below. That's the air temperature, 0 there in Green Bay and Chicago, and 24 in Pittsburgh. Here's our temperature plunge. If you have a chance to go out and shovel now, is the time to do it, because everything's going to turn rock solid and become really difficult over the next couple of days. By tomorrow morning, you're talking teens, even single digits. I think north and west of town, it's going to be very cold.
I'd throw down some rock salt too if you have it, just because you shovel, everything is semi-dry, but again, temperatures around are just above freezing today, a little bit of melting. So, and like Jacob said, for the next really 36 hours starting tonight, we are in a deep freeze. So any standing water, anything left over, it's going to ice up. So get it up as best you can today. Put some rock salt down if you have it, just to help you out tomorrow morning. Here we go with the feels like temperatures. Plunging later today. You see the blues coming in, and here's tomorrow morning. Single digits.
So wind is definitely going to be a factor too. So tomorrow morning, as the kids wake up from their long weekend, they're not only going to have the snow that they're going to have to trudge through, it's going to be very cold and really not improving into the afternoon, still staying with the single digit to even below 0 wind chills. Hey, tonight, if we're able to clear out, there is an Aurora possible.
Chance.
And yeah, chance.
These things
we
are
always
always
say
so tricky.
they're very tricky. Yes, we always say, like, we talk about them and sometimes they don't come to fruition, but in the times that they do, it always makes for spectacular sights.
And we've seen a couple of those this year.
The last couple of years, yeah.
Yeah, so we now know that these things, I mean, we went for years, we're teasing them, they never really happened,
Yeah.
but now we saw a couple great examples recently. So tonight is another possibility. We had a G4, which is a high-level severe magnetic storm going on, and they're highlighting, forecasters are highlighting the overnight hours tonight as a possibility for an aurora. And you'll see here, we look at something called the KP index. Won't get too in-depth here right now, but right now it looks like it's going to peak between 1 and 4 a.m. Now, granted, I don't know that I'd want to be outside between 1 and 4 a.m.
It's going to be very cold. You're going to have to protect all that exposed skin.
Yeah, so if you're thinking about it, now you might want to give it a look. It'll be getting better. The aurora chances will be getting better after 10 o'clock tonight, so there's a chance. But again, if you're thinking about staying up, going out, you know, it's going to be single-digit feels, maybe even below 0 with the wind. So, you know, not the best aurora viewing night from that perspective.
Right, absolutely. But it could make for some really cool shots if you're a shutterbug.
Yeah,
with the snow on the ground.
Snowpack and some nice colors. So we'll see. Again, we'll keep you updated on that. Eric will have an update tonight. But those things are very finicky. But anyhow, tomorrow, as we said, doesn't really get much warmer.
No, these are air temperatures. Temperatures in the mid-20s in Boston, mid-20s, low 20s for Worcester. And then the lows going into Wednesday morning, back into the single digits.
Yeah, so this is kind of the end of this cold surge. It kind of goes from tonight through Wednesday morning. Wednesday during the day, we start to sort of recover. We'll maybe up near 30 degrees, which of course is still well below average.
We say recover in quotation marks.
And on Thursday, as you'll see in a second, we actually have one sort of nice mild day, mild being about 40 degrees, which is just a tick above normal. But that'll be the day. So if you're looking for a day this week to, I don't know, go for a walk or something, get outside and do whatever you need to do, Thursday's probably the day, because after Thursday, more interesting things are afoot in the weather department.
So we're talking about two possibilities, right? As of right now, we're kind of sandwiched between either getting cold or getting snow.
Yes.
And so it's
which do
you
what
pick
do you
the
want?
lesser of two evils for yourself. At the moment, we're sort of leaning more towards the cold, but still very much on the table is the possibility of a storm to move up the East Coast and bring us some considerable snow.
Yeah, you'll see that this graphic basically showing we're getting these consistent like lobes of Arctic air just swinging through the Northeast, and most of our weather models are saying, yep, we got another one coming this weekend, probably even colder than tomorrow. Could be the coldest air we've seen in quite a bit, and that Arctic air is going to keep this storm well south of us. You can see the 6 to 10 day, just lots of cold in the Northeast, Midwest. But the question is, does that cold push far enough south to keep this storm south of us, or does the storm win out?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a tug of war, right? So the stronger the colder it is for us, the less chance we get of snow. Hey, if it's turning a little bit milder, you see that storm to the south in the mid-Atlantic. This is going to cause a mess, by the way.
This is
for the mid-Atlantic. Absolute mess. If the storm is a little milder for us, that means the high pressure is a little weaker, and that means the storm rides closer to us. Right. So again, it's a push or pull, a tug of war.
Yeah, I think either way, this storm is going to get major headlines later this week. Anytime after, say, Thursday or Friday. And you know, this track right here, major snowstorm for parts of Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, maybe even up to D.C. We're talking several inches, if not well over a foot, in a lot of these areas. And of course, if that cold doesn't win out, then the storm comes a little farther north, and then those snow totals could be up here.
Right.
Quick, just showing you one particular model. I think this was the Euro model showing the potential snow. Given if that track holds, this is kind of the purple being a foot of snow.
Yep.
Interesting sort of tug of war with the AI models versus our other models, the typical models this week. We don't talk a lot about model names and AI versus non-AI, but our regular sort of good old-fashioned GFS Euro models are all saying, nah, the cold's going to win out.
Yes.
AI saying something different.
There are a few what we call ensemble members that are showing some support that the cold is going to lose out and the snow will actually be the story for us locally. The last storm, this one that is just finishing, the GFS AI model actually did a fairly good job of handling this compared to the non-AI version of it.
So here we go. AI is, I'm sure it's affecting your life. It's also affecting our lives. We'll see. It's so early in the AI process that I think all the meteorologists are kind of like, all right, let's see how it does.
Yeah.
But every storm that comes is another data point, and this will be another one. Again, as of now, most of our old school models keeping the storm south, the AI nudging it a little bit farther north. We'll see. We got a long ways to go before this weekend, needless to say.
So we've highlighted Saturday and Sunday. Again, those are going to be the cold days. Notice the overnight lows in the single digits to below zero. So perhaps even record-breaking cold. But additionally, that is the time frame, the period of interest that if the cold is not going to win out, it would be the snow. So let's watch this upcoming weekend very closely for some winter weather, whether it's the cold or the snow.
I think one way or another, it's going to be an alert-worthy weekend and a wintry weekend. And man, do I wish the Patriots were going to be home on Sunday.
I know. Because it would be interesting.
Either 12 degrees or some snow falling. By the way, Denver looks like amazing this weekend. In the 40s and sunny.
If we have a sec, we can talk about how crazy their winter has been compared to ours. It actually for Denver is the warmest winter on record for them. They are at something like 20% of their snowfall that they normally get. And obviously the Vales, the Aspens, they need their snow. So while we've been really cold and maybe not have made up for it with snow-wise, they've been really warm and really have missed out on snow.
They have basically had the upside-down winter that we have had. You know, there's been a big ridge over the west and middle part of the country, and we are the resultant trough. So, interesting enough, Eric Fisher's going out to just north of Colorado for a weather conference this week, and he's going to see firsthand kind of the lack of snow and lack of winter out there, and have a report back later this week. But yeah, exact opposite of what we were dealing with. So the weather will not, long story short, weather will not be a factor this coming weekend for the Pats and the Broncos.
No, absolutely not. And we'll be following, Terry and I and everyone in the Weather Center, everything that is going to be going on this upcoming week, and we'll be sure to do more of these updates as more information comes out. But for now, we appreciate you. Be safe. Enjoy the snow.
Yeah.